Brutal here at the Lubbock, Texas Regional, aka YESSSS Lubbock. My goodness, but whoa, please introduce yourself to the world.
I am Santiago Dinsmore, and I got top 8s at the Lubbock Regional with Labrynth, is what I did.
Traps, God yes. What made you decide to play this deck for the event?
I did not want to play Snake Eyes, and Flab is really the only other deck that seemed competitive enough to compete with it besides Tempai. So I decided just to stick with Lab for this event.
That's fair. Any shout outs before we begin?
Obviously, the man Jeff, the man Chris over there, and of course Dennis, he's always there.
Nice.
To the entire 505 community in New Mexico, and then Tommy for letting me borrow some cards for this deck. Of course.
Nice. Well, without further ado, please signal with the top 8 group.
Alrighty. So these are a little bit of weird. You'll see. So obviously we're playing the 3 Ariana, one of the best starters in the deck that you have to play. We're playing 3 Butler. It's a going first, going second option. Going first, it helps you like special the Ariana if you need to go into like some extra deck plays if you need to. Going second, obviously it helps you set the normal trap cards that help you break through boards. We're playing 3 Stovey because it gets you to obviously the welcome trap, the big welcome and the welcomes. But we are only playing the 2 Chandelier.
Oh wow!
It was one of those things with this deck. We just did not want to brick. Every hand we wanted to play was just so we can play. And a lot of contributing factors was the Chandelier, especially since it only adds the hand and not special itself to the field. So that's the reason why we kind of cut it down to 2. I like the ratio. So I wouldn't change it, but it is a weird ratio nonetheless. And then 1 Clue Clock, 1 Lady, the lovely Lady, the Brick, and the Silver Castle. We're just playing 1-ofs as well. So that's the entire monsters for Labrynth, and then other monsters we're playing is 3 Backjack because this card's insane. Again, with like the Stovies and the Chandeliers, it helps you play going second, which is the most important part for this deck. If you want to play going second, obviously you have your plays going first, but the going second is really important, especially with Snake Eyes in the format. And then the last card we're playing is Shavara because I just love Unchained. This probably should get cut, but I mean there's an OTK line in the extra deck, and I made that pretty much half my games. I made the OTK line and helped me just end the game faster. Cool. So that's the entire monsters. Now on to the traps. We're playing 3 big because obviously it's the best card in the deck. You have to play 3. We're only playing 2 welcome. If you play 3, I don't know what to do, but don't play 3. This card is fine at 2.
So never came out with 3rd one?
Never. If anything, I didn't even need the 2nd one most of the time. But you probably have to play 2 just in case. Especially since we have other cards in the deck that contributes to it. 3 Imperm because it helps us going second. It's a trap card, doesn't play in the talent, and obviously triggers like your Silver Castle. And then another card, again, which is probably not a main deck staple, but we decided to go with it, is Evenly Matched in the main deck. The reason why we decided to do this is because, again, Labrynth kind of struggles going second. So we wanted just to make sure we can play going second, and a lot of the Snake Eyes end boards isn't ending on any Omni Negate, so the Evenly helps you just push through forwards and then set your traps and play on their turn. And then now on to the power traps. We're playing 3 Daruma because again it's the best power trap in the game. Playing 2 Punishment. I think in this deck, once we get to the extra deck, I'll explain more about this card, but it's a good and bad thing, unfortunately. But again, I'll get more of that when I get to the extra deck. We're playing 2 Trap Trick. A lot of people are playing 3. I don't know. Again, it helped contribute to bricks. He didn't want to draw multiple, so it's fine at 2. I wouldn't change it at all. We're playing 2 the Black Goat Laughs. Again, another card that helps you just break through the field, especially if you hard draw with the Stovies and stuff like that. But the on-field effect is also very insane. It makes players play weird, which is what you want to do because, again, you want your power trap to be the most impactful it can be. And then 2 Transaction because hand traps suck and it's everywhere in this format. This helps you play through the hand traps, but it can also copy the power traps, which is insane. The 1 Terror, I just decided to play a 1-of. It's a 42 card deck, so technically this could be like cut and cuts if you want to make it the 40, but I decided to play the 42 and play the 1-of Terrors, but this came up all day and I loved the Terrors a lot. I would not cut it. And obviously, the last card, the trump card, Rivalry of Warlords, it wins games when you draw it, unless they feather dust. But besides that, it should just win you games automatically.
42 cards?
42 cards, yes. Now on to the extra deck. So we're going to start off with the link monsters we actually make. Relinquish just to get the backjack into graveyard, or if you have clue clock and you need to steal a monster. But most of the time it's just getting backjack into graveyard. That's why we're playing it. Dark never really made it today, just because I versed a lot of Snake Eyes, so never really came up. But so I don't know. It's fine. You probably still play it, but I never really made it today. The one Muckraker, it helps you get like LEDE back in rotation. You have no other way to get to it, like the Biggs Engrave or something like that. It just helps you get to it. And now for the Unchained. We're playing the one Yama, the one Soul Rage, the Anguish, and the Abom. So basically this is the OTK line. So if you can get 3 monsters onto the field, it should just equal the OTK. So you go into Yama, search Shavara, then go into the Anguish. If they have a monster on field, you link off, go into the Abomination, and then you go Shavara effect, target one of your traps, pop it, a bomb pops a card on their field, you get a 2k body, and then Yama effects triggers in graveyard. So if you have a Lovely or a Lady of the Silver Castle, you can special that, and that's 8k right there. Ends the games fast. Yes, it's a little weird because Dogmatic of Punishment is a very good trap card, but I'd much rather have this to end games fast. You don't want to give Snake Eyes another turn, so that's why I decided just to stick with this. We weren't playing the Escape because that is just a massive brick. So, but yeah, that's why we were playing.
And then for Yama, it's the one way you can play around Snake Eye. This is how you get your Lady back into rotation. So
yeah.
When you pop it, this is the way you summon. You're going to summon back, and you pop it out of the spell and trap card zone. And that's the way you're getting it back in rotation majority of the time against Snake Eye. So it's never a bad thing if they just zone your stuff.
Yeah, so you always have the Yama, okay, I can pop it out of my spell trap zone, and then now you have your Lovely Lady back in rotation.
My goodness.
And then obviously the best card in the extra deck is SP Little Knight, because of course it is, especially since we're playing Soul Rage, it's even more insane. Chaos Angel, again, just another dumb card that we can make in this deck. Very dumb, helps OTK as well because it's a big booty as well. And the Sky Crisis, because again, it helps us break fields. I don't like this in every deck, but I think in Lab you do have to play it. And then for the punishment targets, we're playing the Entis. We're playing, obviously, the Tri-Brigade Link 5 with Garua, the Chimeras as well. So if your Lady gets banished, you can get this back in rotation in graveyard. If you want, like, Ariana Engrave, summon it during your opponent's turn to get your follow-up so you can start playing on your turn as well. And also, another thing about Yama is this technically is also another punishment target as well, because in graveyard, even if your cards get destroyed, this still triggers to special summon your guys. So, I would not change anything about the extra deck. Loved it all. Again, Dark is the only real card I didn't really make, but I think you probably still have to play it. Now on to the side deck. To be honest, this deck is impossible to side into, so I really never needed these. I played Phantasme, never drew them once, so I can't tell you how good they are. So, but I played 3 of them and never saw them. Now for a bunch of 2-ofs, we're playing 2 Lord, 2 Golem, 2 Judgment, 2 Skill Drain, 2 D-Barrier. So again, we just wanted to play more cards in the side deck that would help you in more matchups. Again, yes, Snake Eyes is everywhere because it is a kind of a tier 0 deck, but you want to be prepared for other matchups as well. So like the Runic matchup, that's why you have the Lords in here, because it helps you deal with the destructions and stuff like that. Golems, again, another card that just helps you break the field. Solemn Judgment is a going first option, and this and Lord kind of helps you out. Obviously, the skill drains are busted, but I don't think it's worth main decking, so this is fine in the side deck. And then 2 D-Barrier because Tempai exists, and you have to play it. Also, Voiceless is in the format as well. So we're signing it instead because, again, Snake Eyes doesn't really play into this card, so we want it in the side instead. And then for just 1 of Power Traps, we're going 1 DDG when we're going first against the Snake Eyes, and 1 Eradicator for any spell-heavy deck as well. Wouldn't change anything about that either.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, hey man, congrats on getting top 8 at YESSSS All Day.
Thank you.
There you go. And until next time, everyone, Borderlanation.